Hey there, it's Steve from SeriousKeto.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you my experiences with a 72-hour fast. But before we do that, if you enjoy low-carb cooking videos, product and ingredient reviews, as well as lessons learned from my experiences with the ketogenic lifestyle and intermittent fasting, as well as extended fasting, click that button right down there to subscribe. And while you're at it, click the bell next to it so you're notified whenever I drop a new video. Last night around 7:15, I finished a 72-hour fast, which means I started this fast at about 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. I didn't know at the time that I was going to go on a fast. I didn't make the decision until Thursday morning, and then I kind of had a moment of clarity. And I was looking at my weight loss tracker, and I saw that it hadn't really moved very much in a couple of weeks. And I can really sort of attribute that to not being especially diligent in managing my macros. So I thought a 72-hour fast, it would be my longest fast, and it would be an opportunity both for me to sort of reboot my willpower and discipline, but also kickstart my weight loss again. So I'm actually just going to let you watch what happened over the course of 3 days. Here we go. So it is the morning of day 2 of my 72-hour fast. Yesterday was pretty uneventful. It's really just like what I normally do, one meal a day, just one less meal. I did find myself getting a little bit grumpy around dinner time because my son and daughter and their respective boyfriend and girlfriend were making dinner and making quesadillas, and I kind of just had to go down into the man cave and just stay away from all of that food. Yesterday, when I ran my morning sprints, they were the best they've ever been, but my blood glucose was up at like 101 and my blood ketones were down to 0.2. So I'd kind of been slacking, which is one of the reasons for this fast, to kind of reestablish my discipline. This morning, my blood glucose was at 83 and my ketones were at 1.5. So I'm already into optimal ketosis. My sprints this morning, that's why I'm, kind of sweaty still, is I just got done running my sprints and then went for an hour walk, and then I do another quarter mile of sprints. And I felt sort of weaker and more tired and slow this morning. But in terms of the distance that I covered in my 6 minutes of sprints, it was probably, within 10 or 20 feet of what I did yesterday. So it must have been more mental than anything. Anyhow, so that's where we're at, day 1. Here's the other thing. This is super exciting. I'm under 170 pounds for the first time probably in 20 years. So that's a pretty big landmark for me. I was pretty excited to see that on the scale this morning. So it is the morning of day 3. I just got done running my sprints and my morning walk. And you know how I felt a little bit weaker yesterday? It was the same today, probably even a little bit more. And the distance that I ran over the course of my 10 sprints was just slightly less, but still, it was sort of on par with, what I've been running, pretty much throughout the summer. However, when I went to take my last quarter mile sprint, usually I walk for about 45 minutes and then I do a quarter mile sprint, which is probably being generous. It's probably, about half of that is sprint and the other half is run, and the last, 5 or 10% is something that looks like running, but it just occurs a lot more slowly. Anyhow, I got about a third of the way into that and I had nothing left in the tank. And it wasn't a cardio thing, it wasn't a breathing or heart rate thing. My legs just felt like I was going to collapse. And the last time I really felt that sort of feeling was back when I was doing Atkins around 20 years ago, and our push mower was not self-propelled, and we have a little bit of an incline, and just pushing the mower up the hill, I felt that sort of same feeling in my legs, like I've got nothing left here. Incidentally, my blood glucose this morning was at 78. My ketones were at 3.1. And the last time they've been that high was when I was using keto pea sticks back when I was doing Atkins about 20 years ago. So my guess is I'm out of muscle glycogen, and as a result, I'm feeling sort of that weakness. Aside from that, I feel really good. I feel alert. I feel happy. I don't feel any hunger. So I'm kind of debating tonight at 7, which would be the 72-hour mark. Will I end the fast? Or will I do like a partial end? Maybe just have some bone broth with collagen and just call that my meal, and then tomorrow morning, kind of formally come out of the fast with, some eggs for breakfast. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I guess keep watching this video and you'll see how things play out. It's the morning after my 72-hour fast. I just got done going for about an hour and 15-minute sort of meditative walk. And it was pretty great. There's something about going out before 7 in the morning on a Sunday. Pretty much the only thing you hear is nature. I didn't do sprints this morning, not for lack of willpower, mental toughness. I just kind of felt lightheaded and felt that discretion was the better part of valor. So no sprints today. We'll get back to that hopefully tomorrow. So yesterday I was kind of debating whether or not I would break my fast at 72 hours or continue on into this morning and make it like an 84, 85-hour fast. I did, in fact, break my fast last night. I had something that was probably between ramen and pho. It was a bowl of shirataki noodles with homemade bone broth, a little tri-tip steak and some various vegetables and coconut aminos and sriracha, and it was just wonderful. But I imagine anything after 72 hours of not consuming a calorie would taste pretty wonderful. I then proceeded about an hour later and through the rest of the night to have diarrhea, so perhaps I was a little bit aggressive in terms of what I chose for my fast-breaking meal. Anyhow, I'll save the rest of the thoughts for my closure video when I'm not quite so sweaty.
So let's talk about results and lessons learned. On Wednesday morning, I was 173.2 pounds. When I finished, and I did my refeed last night and then weighed myself this morning, I was down to 167. So in total, 6.2 pounds over the course of 3 days. Not too shabby. Interestingly, some differences between the 72-hour fast and my previous 44-hour fast, which I can link to up here. First off, after my 44-hour fast, when I did my refeed, the next morning I weighed 0.7 of a pound more than I did the final day of my fast. This time I weighed 0.7 of a pound less than I did. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Also, when I did my 44-hour fast, I found that my blood pressure and my resting heart rate were both elevated. This time, not only were they not elevated, they were lower than typically they have been. And I don't know if that's part of the fast or if it's just that I'm in better shape than I was. So, that's kind of interesting. Also, I was clearly a little too aggressive in my fast-breaking meal. Between now and the next time I do a fast, I'm definitely going to have to take a look at what's the best meal or meals to have, after a fast. One of the things that I noticed over the course of the fast was when other people were eating, and there's always somebody eating in this house, whether it's my wife, my kids, their friends, pretty much always somebody is cooking something or snacking. And I found this made me kind of irritable, and I realized that's completely irrational. I mean, I made the choice to go on a fast. They did not make a choice to go on the fast. They're going to eat. So be mindful of that feeling and try not to take it out on your family. I would say that if you are finding that you feel that way, get out of the house, when people are having a snack or cooking something. Go for a walk or go to a part of your house where you're not going to smell people cooking or hear them eating, just for your own mental well-being. Also, stay hydrated. And this ought to be easy because I find that when you start feeling a little bit of hunger, 5 or 6 big gulps of water is enough to make that feeling go away. Additionally, on this fast, I chose to go pretty pure. So despite what I, thought I might do, in terms of having fatty coffee and some MCT oil, I didn't do that. The only thing I consumed was water, green tea, unsweetened. I didn't even use like stevia or anything. And then an apple cider vinegar tonic, which was apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, water, cinnamon, and ginger. So I essentially didn't consume a calorie for 72 hours. And I felt a strong sense of accomplishment for that, just sort of the willpower and sticking to that. I did supplement with potassium, and I made sure that in my apple cider vinegar tonic, I gave probably 4 or 5 good grinds of Himalayan sea salt, just to make sure that I was getting plenty of minerals. Aside from that, honestly, it wasn't tremendously difficult. I think if you're already doing 1 meal a day for fasting, it's just getting past that first day. You're really kind of ready for that meal that you normally have at 6, 7 p.m. when you're doing 1 meal a day. And that was the tough one for me. After that, it wasn't so bad. And I'm pretty sure that, especially once my kids go back to school and there's not people around the house all day long snacking, that I'll be able to pull off that 100-hour fast. And I'm looking forward to that. So that's it. If you have any questions about the experience, things that maybe I didn't cover, or comments as well, things that maybe you could give me some advice, that would be great. Put it down in the comments section below. And thanks for watching.